Okay, fam, welcome back. So today we're going to be going over the Grayscale trusts as well as some of the market indicators and crypto a little bit. I mean, the other crypto stuff and also some dividends. So with that being said, let's get it. Okay, so if you guys want to sign up for a channel membership, you are free to do so. You would just have to click the join button below the video. It is $25 a month. If you want to get early access to the content, that's what it's for. You would have to decide, of course, ultimately whether it's worth it or not. A lot of people pay for a lot of stuff, so you got to decide whether it's worth it. $25 a month is worth it to get early access to the content here on this channel. But I will tell you guys right now, crypto is a very fast moving vehicle, and we only have about 12 months left in this bull run in crypto. So, time is money, so to speak. Again, not financial advice. I just want to throw that out there. So looking at the NASDAQ here, you guys can see that we have hit this oversold signal many, many times, but I want you guys to notice something here. And again, I think we're about to get a reversal on the NASDAQ, even though it seems like it hasn't bottomed out yet. Keep getting these indicators that are telling me that likely we are probably going to get a bottom here real soon. You guys can see there is a clear, very clear bullish divergence going on here on the hourly time frame. Keep in mind we're past the whole mark to market end of the year rebalancing, all that nonsense that usually happens towards the end of the year. So Wall Street may be in buy mode here soon. I just want to point that out. So also the 4-hourly time frame, you guys can see we have tapped this yet again. Keep in mind this is also a bullish divergence. It doesn't seem like it, but it actually is. So you can see the RSI slowly going higher here. The MACD creating higher lows as well on the 4-hourly time frame. And of course, you have the, let's actually get rid of this, get rid of these lines right here because it's not really relevant to this content right now. So, and you guys can see the price coming down, obviously. So price coming down, MACD, RSI going up. That's what's known as bullish divergence. So yeah, I mean, literally every single time we've seen one of these oversold signals on the 4-hourly time frame, it's been a pretty solid indicator that a bottom is in or pretty close to in. I mean, the charts speak for themselves. I'm going based on data here. This is not my opinion. This is what you guys see on the charts. Do with that what you will, but it does appear that there is some kind of major bottom in. And again, when we've gotten about this level on the RSI before as well, on the daily time frame, it has led to a local bottom also. Although that's not a perfect indicator by any metric, I do just want to point that out as well. Okay, so now let's go ahead and get into the dividends real quick. So yieldmax, they had another announcement. Of course, the payment and X date and all that's going to be kind of janky because the holidays next week, we're not going to have this problem, fortunately. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into it anyway. So the payment date is going to be, looks like Monday. Yeah, Monday. Okay, so we got YMAX at 18 cents, YMAG at 31 cents. Keep in mind, these are weekly ones right here. The rest of these are monthly. So NVDY 89.8, dips about 50.5 cents, FBY 44.5 cents, GDXY 35 cents, BABO 44.5, JPMO 30 cents, MRNY 25 cents, PLTY $3.58, and MARO $2.49. So pretty good. I mean, if you're looking for some income, maybe with some upside, maybe not with some upside. If you don't care about the capital appreciation, you only care about the income. These down here may be your best bet, and these ones up here could YMAX and YMAG could be a good combination of price appreciation and income, depending on how you play it. Okay, so QDTE, this one fortunately does not have the whole holiday thing. So yeah, roughly about 30 cents, and these are all weekly, by the way. 30 cents for QDTE, and let's see here, XDTE. And keep in mind the S&P, the NASDAQ, and the Russell have been dipping. So you guys have the opportunity right now to buy these shares of these dividend ETFs on the dip if you want to, since they are index related. Again, that's entirely up to you. I'm just pointing that out. So 33.5 cents here on XDTE. And the last one here, the Russell 2000 version, which is your small caps. Do keep in mind that the Russell 2000, the small caps, usually outperform the rest of the market in the first quarter of the year. Okay, so January, February, especially, maybe even into March. So if you're looking for major upside in the Russell and in the small caps or even individual stocks within the Russell 2000, this may be the time to consider doing it. 59 cents per share here on RDTE. And last one, SPYT. So this one is basically just a monthly income position. It doesn't really have any price appreciation. If you catch it on the dip, like we've had recently over the last couple of weeks, it's currently at $19 a share. As you can see right now, it usually hovers around 20. Maybe you can get a little bit of upside on this. Maybe you can get a little bit of shares for cheap, but it pretty much sticks around that 20, and it's mainly just for income. So roughly about 32.8 on this one. And I thought that GPIC and GPIX was supposed to have their declarations right around this time frame too, but I looked and I have not seen anything, so keep you updated on that. I did also want to point out here that we added more shares even still to CLSK. You guys probably think we're absolutely nuts, but with the countless amount of times that we've seen the exact same scenario play out, we're pretty confident these Bitcoin miners are going to pop at some point. So we're kind of really grating against the skin of the shorts at this point, waiting for them to eventually get squeezed out of their positions, because I'm pretty sure that's coming. So current share count 1,800 at $14.11 here. And again, when it makes sense to do so, we will continue to add to this. So now in terms of native crypto, I'm just going to put it simply. Okay, I think Bitcoin's probably going to bounce here and go higher, but that's not the point I want to make. The point I want to make here is this. We're in Q1 right now of the post-halving year, okay? So usually what happens around this time frame is Ethereum will take over and the altcoin market will absolutely explode. I mean, just stupid stratospheric gains. So I'm expecting January and February, maybe even March too, to be extremely good months for these altcoins. Okay, so if you have not positioned yourself yet, the window of opportunity may be closing very, very fast. I'm just going to tell you that right now. That's exactly what I think is going to happen. How long a period of time you have to potentially pick these up, or even the Grayscale trusts, I do not know. Okay. But I will tell you right now, if there's correlation between crypto and the NASDAQ's pretty much, it appears to be bottomed out. That means that there is nothing stopping all of these crypto related plays from going up. Of course, you have Trump, the new SEC chair, so on and so on. I mean, we've seen ridiculously oversold on the stocks above the 50-day. So there's a lot of bottoming indicators going on here. And if there's any correlation between the trusts and between native crypto and the alt season, then the opportunity to pick these up at extremely cheap prices may be very, very fast running out. Okay, that's what I'll tell you. All right, so LTCN, after this brutal little sell-off here we've seen for the last 3 weeks, it's been pretty insane. Finally getting a nice little bounce right at the bottom of the channel as to be expected. So buy zone down here 12 to roughly about 18. Targets 27 to 54 up here, and I'm going to go over a little something more interesting at the end of the video. You guys will see here in a minute. 350% gain. BCHG bouncing nicely off this trend line as to be expected. This is a very long-term trend line, so that currently sits at $5, going up to about $5.80 for the buy zone. Targets up here anywhere from roughly about $12 to about $24. Nice round numbers, easy to remember, right? 340% gain. HSAN, it is holding the structure, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. So $5 for the potential buy zone here. Targets could be anywhere from $6.90 to $10.50. Of course, keep in mind your cost basis will have to. Your cost basis may be different than the structure level, so you'll have to adjust your kind of measurements accordingly. 110% gain. ETCG bouncing nicely off the trend line. Again, told you guys this was probably going to happen, so it did. Buy zone down here, I'd say anywhere between $10 to $12 with targets at 1830 to about 2015 for about 103% gain, ETHE. So nice little bounce off of the yellow EMAs. Wasn't sure if this is going to go lower or not, considering we're in Q1. Probably not. It may just bounce immediately off the level it's at and go straight up, because Ethereum usually does gain dominance in Q1, so we'll see on that one. 2340 to 2840 here as a potential buy area, and then the cup and handle target of 5230 for roughly about 120% gain. GBAT. Looks like this one may be reversing. We see a nice little wick down here at the bottom, multiple wicks at the bottom. It's kind of holding that level. That's a good sign. So I would say probably anywhere between this EMA 720 going up to about $10. Good buy area. Of course, it could get back down here to 450 to 530, but at this point in the cycle, I'd say probably not. 32 for the target up here for about 360% gain. FILG. Nice little dumpito for some reason. I don't know what's going on here, but whatever the case may be, it may have something to do with the NASDAQ just continuing to capitulate. Again, I've said this before. I think the markets are freaking out because they're like, oh, well, you know, the tech companies, the social media companies, they censored Trump during the election process, right? And all that jazz. I mean, it's very controversial, obviously, but I don't think Trump's really looking to necessarily put the Mag 7 out of business. And don't misunderstand what I said. That's not a warning, okay? I'm not saying he's going to do that. He's probably not going to do that. I don't think he much really cares one way or another about the Mag 7 and what they do. I think so much as he cares about the ensuring that the First Amendment rights remain intact and that the tech companies don't infringe upon that. I don't think there's any real reason to be worried. I think the Mag 7 is still going to climb this year. I'm not concerned about it. But some people are worried about it for whatever reason. I don't know. They just have this preconceived notion in their mind that Trump equals bad news for big tech. And I think it's ridiculous. I really do. I mean, think about it for a second, y'all. He literally has the equivalent of X, DJT, right? Or True Social, I think is what it's called. So, yeah, to say that that's even a thing is ridiculous in my opinion, but some people, you know, they're just wrapped up in their own feelings, I guess. So anyways, FILG 34 to 45 here as the buy zone, targets all the way up here at 400. 1,025% gain. GLIV, nice little inverse head and shoulders pattern here. Again, the target breakout target, would be roughly about $31. Buy zone, pretty much around the current price at 12 to about 15. I wouldn't really be looking at 30 as the target. For me personally, I'd be looking all the way up at the all-time highs and above at 80. Again, we'll talk about why that is at the end of the video. So 625% gain. G-Link retesting the buy zone. If you didn't get it down here or even in here, this may be your second chance. So buy zone here is 65 to 84. 220 as the target up here. And keep in mind, if you were waiting, obviously you would need to have some dry powder to buy in this green box. A lot of people make the mistake of not having cash on the side waiting for these dips. I've seen this a lot especially with dividend investors. They usually don't have a portion of cash on the side just in case they get that buying opportunity. Everybody has the right to do what they want, but we always keep some on the side just in case, because something like this may happen. So 240% gain here. GSOL, so it looks like this thing may be bottoming out right around 20. So buy zone here anywhere from, I'd say, maybe 15 to 23. If you're looking to snipe this, so to speak. So 70 to 115 as the targets. Those of you guys that actually day trade, you would know what I mean when I say sniping. So 640% gain here at GXLM. Nice little bounce off structure. That's obviously a good sign. That means that it's respecting that level. So 36 to 40 as the buy area. You guys can see somebody bought it because it pretty much shot straight back up immediately. Okay, so targets, I would say probably somewhere between 69 to about 96. Keep in mind the all-time high for this one is at 96, so anything above that is just icing on the cake, in my opinion. 160% gain. Mana, pretty much just chopping around in this big fat accumulation here, so anywhere between, I'd say, about 10 to 20 bucks could be a good potential buying area. 70 is the all-time high. for a target of roughly about 590% gain. And last but not least, Zcash, you can see with these wicks at the top indicates bearish selling pressure, whereas these wicks at the bottom, even though these are red candles, these wicks at the bottom indicates there is some level of buying pressure, so keep that in mind. 440 to about 510 for the buy area, and then I'd say targets in the immediate short term 960 to about 1025. Of course, if you're a hodler, you don't care about these targets. You just kind of want to get that 5, 10, 20x for about 140% gain. Okay, so here's what I want to point out. Okay, if there is going to be a correlation between the alt season and a lot of these trusts, because keep in mind, a lot of these trusts are altcoin related. Okay, pretty much all of them are, with the exception of GBTC. If there is an extremely heavy correlation here, which I suspect there's probably going to be, you guys are going to need to be prepared for this because, and I want to show you what I mean here, because these things always look like garbage to most retail traders until they don't, okay? So I want to point out a few extreme examples of what it looks like when everybody's saying it's dead, or this is garbage, this is crap, I don't want to touch this garbage. I'm not interested in that SHIT, you know what I mean? All that stuff. So most retail traders, when they see this, and again, I've told you guys about this is an accumulation zone. Okay, it's boring. It's not fun. You got to sit around and wait forever for this thing to make a move. Retail looks at that and they're like, yeah, no, thank you. I'm good. Smart money looks at that and says, okay, I'll buy it. It's not going anywhere. It's bottomed out. It looks like it's just chopping around before it pops. Either they buy the entire accumulation zone or they buy up to a set dollar amount and then just say, okay, I'm good. I'm just going to sit on my bags and wait. And guess what? Out of nowhere, this is XRP, by the way, over 4 weeks. So over 1 month, this thing goes up 400%. I want you guys to keep this in mind because this can happen for any of these trusts at any point in time for any reason. Okay, literally any reason at any time. I'm not even joking. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys another example of trying to think of another good one that we could look at that also resembles the same thing. Another example here is Stellar Lumens. What do you see down here? Oh, this is garbage. This is crap. It's not going anywhere. It's just going sideways. Trust me, I hate it when the markets don't go up just as much as you guys do. It is extremely annoying to have to sit there and wait for weeks and weeks and weeks for something to happen, right? But again, I've seen this so many times that I can tell you guys usually it almost always plays out the exact same way. It's just a matter of timing and patience. Over the course of 2 weeks, XLM did a massive 460% gain. And again, if you think this is exclusive only to crypto, it is not, okay? So I'm going to show you guys another example. As a matter of fact, I'm going to show you guys the example of the one of the stocks that we're in, okay? So you had the news of Trump getting elected as president, right? That was the news catalyst. Back here during November 4th, CLSK shot up from $9.50 to $18 in literally just 2 weeks. A massive, nearly 90% move. And again, what was it doing before this? A whole lot of nothing. Okay, it was just going sideways, up and down a little bit, but mostly sideways, doing nothing. Most people would say it's garbage. Oh, that's crap. I don't want to buy that. Why the hell would I want to touch that? It's the same old stuff, right? It's always retail versus smart money. That's just how it is. Again, and I choose both the crypto and the stock market specifically to emphasize a point here that it's not just, this doesn't just happen in crypto. It happens in stocks too, believe it or not. So it's always the same story. Okay. Bottom of a move, goes sideways, does nothing. Oh, this is garbage. I don't want to touch this crap. I'm going to lose all my money, blah, 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 blah. Right. So it's the same story. And then all of a sudden you get this humongous, monstrous 1,000% gain. And how long did this take? From the breakout point, if I'm even just measuring this from the breakout point here at $2.50, that was still a 365% move in only 6 weeks. Okay, huge move. If you had been buying the bottom down here at this kind of 85-cent area would have taken a little bit longer, but your gains would have been 1,240%. Same thing, QUBT doing nothing. Guess what? All of a sudden, Google comes out with a quantum AI chip. Guess what? We have access to parallel universes. I don't know how realistic that is, but I can tell you guys right now, that was the catalyst that sent these things flying to the moon. Okay. Told you guys before, it's either smart money on Wall Street pumping up the markets after they bought their bags on the dip, or it's some kind of news catalyst. It's always the case. Okay. So this stock did nothing, was at 40 cents, and then it went all the way up to a massive $27 price target. Okay. 6,800% gain. Now, when it actually broke out from the breakout point to the tippy top here, it was only 5 weeks and it went up a massive 1,300% gain. I'm re-illustrating the same point on different assets for a reason, okay? At any point in time, these things could just boom, take off like a rocket and start ripping to the upside for God knows what reason. At what particular time, nobody knows, out of nowhere. And if the train leaves the station and you guys are sitting on the sidelines, well, I don't know what to tell you, dude. I mean, I'm not trying to kind of FOMO or fear anybody into positions here. That's not my goal. I just want to make you guys aware of what's likely to happen, okay? So anyways, hope you all enjoyed this content. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.